distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jessica Hand, the British Ambassador to Angola and the island state of São Tomé and Príncipe. And I'm based in Luanda and am now in my 4th year in this amazing country. The design of pushchairs, or strollers, has evolved enormously over the years. The one my parents used had the child, me, seated facing them. And my father was always amused that every time he took me out, we would have only gone a few metres before I turned myself round and knelt so that I could look forward. And I guess I've always wanted to see where I'm going. I haven't always had a plan, but I've always been curious to see what was coming, what my options were, and what I might want to explore. So how did the curious little girl in the stroller get to be an ambassador twice, a consul general twice, a country director of trade and investment, a negotiator, policymaker and advisor? And more importantly, what example has she set for others? Since I was an only child, my parents believed that I should develop as many skills as possible so that I could look after myself. Whenever I asked how to do something, my mother would say, "What would you do if you were on your own?" And it was infuriating, but it taught me to work things out and to find my own solutions. And it also taught me determination and patience. When it came to choosing a degree study course, my father advised me to combine something I liked and did well with something I was curious about. So I opted for French, which I loved, and international relations, which was a mystery. And so a fascination with the 3D chess of international politics began. And with it came a love of travel and a desire to see and understand the people and places I was dealing with. And to my mind, there was only one job that could lead me to do this and to earn a living at the same time, and that was the diplomatic service. Undeterred by its reputation for elitism and tough selection standards, my approach was, well, why not? And I suppose that's been my approach ever since. Never turn down an opportunity and never shrink from a challenge. It served me well in a service that only in 1975 lifted its insistence on women resigning when they got married, where it was common to be the only woman in the room, and sometimes still is, but we're getting better, and where the chances of a woman becoming an ambassador were slim at best, and that has certainly changed. But the times changed and the service did too, and it did so at pace. So the first time I became an ambassador, I was the youngest ever woman to reach that rank. That record has now been beaten many, many times, I am proud to say. But in that first ambassadorial role, I realised the impact that comes not necessarily through specific projects or programmes, but more than anything through being an example as a role model of what is possible. The day that I went to present Second World War campaign veterans in Belarus with medals, I heard one of them ask where the ambassador was. And he exclaimed after I was pointed out, "What, really? The little blonde girl?" And it made me laugh. But I realised in that instant that attitudes like that were common. And it was something that other young women were dealing with, not just in that country, but across the world. The issues of perception and social and cultural norms. I also realised that senior women who have achieved need to give back by supporting and enabling the progress of talented younger colleagues. We need to dispel the perception or the assumption that to achieve a role such as mine, you need to be born to it, come from a well-connected family, know someone in power, go to the right schools and universities, be elegant and attractive, and some other ideas that I won't list, but you can imagine what I'm talking about. Now, there is a need to show that ordinary girls can become extraordinary women if they apply their intelligence, hone their skills, focus on their goals, and show what they're capable of, and learn the requirements of their chosen sector or organisation to achieve positions of influence. And there is a need to show that you don't need to hide your ordinary beginnings. The more you celebrate them, the more others believe that advancement is possible. And let's not forget that everyone can be a role model. The mothers, the sisters, the aunts, the stay-at-home mothers, the childminders. They form young minds and make the strongest impressions of all. Alongside this, I've always tried to focus more formal support on professional empowerment through small projects to open to women the sectors of work traditionally considered to be male. Accounting, or actually anything involving numbers. Sciences, engineering, geological and meteorological services. The list is huge. The advances in modern communications, and I've probably dated myself already by using that term, have increased the options for doing this, for spreading our stories, and for supporting the determined, aspirational, gifted young women that are out there to realise their goals. Now, they say that seeing is believing, and communication is definitely key. Throughout my career, I have tried to balance the ordinary with what seems to many extraordinary. I still do my own shopping in local markets. It's great economic and social analysis. I drive myself, and I will talk to anyone who will talk to me. Oh, and I've got 2 tattoos. And yet, I have led international arms control delegations, advised generals, discussed issues with presidents, ministers and business leaders. And occasionally I think, is this all real? And the answer is yes. And it can be real for so many others if they believe they can, and like that little girl in the stroller, keep looking to where they want to go. Thank you very much.